I had no money. I just found out my ex-girlfriend was pregnant, and I decided to quit my job to start an electric car company at a time when no one had even heard of electric cars. This is the story of a leap that turned into an EV truck company, a leap I never would have made if I didn't get called out hard by this one investor. All my life I'd heard the saying that you can't make something from nothing, and I hated hearing that because if it was true, it meant that I would never be successful. It was December 2007 and I was selling cars at a Honda dealership, and I was terrible at it, making no money whatsoever because I hated gas cars. It was a 100% commission job and I'd only sold 4 cars in 4 months. So I was broke and I had terrible migraine headaches making me dread every day. Deep down, I knew why. I felt this huge pull to do something meaningful, to help move the world away from gas cars and toward electric vehicles. But the problem was, I had no experience in the auto industry, no connection, and certainly no money to start something like that. But the month before, I was talking to an investor over the phone. We had numerous calls over about a month as he listened to me talk about my business idea. One day, he finally said to me, "You know, people can smell commitment from a mile away." And that was the last time I could ever get him on the phone. And he called me out, and that one sentence really changed my entire life. So in mid-December, with no money for rent at the end of the month, I walked into my boss's office. I was terrified, shaking, and crying because I was about to tell him that I had to quit my job to start an electric car company with no money. I was absolutely certain he would tell me that I was totally crazy. Instead, this 60-year-old man with decades of experience running car dealerships just sat there staring at me. Then he really quietly said, "That's exactly what I've been thinking about doing for 20 years. That moment changed everything for me. But it didn't change my situation. Rent due in a couple weeks, Christmas around the corner, and a baby on the way. But a few months after committing and working on it hard every single day, things started to fall into place. $50,000 in initial investment from strangers almost out of nowhere. An engineering team that seemed to appear at exactly the right time, a Ford dealership that donated 3 trucks for us to convert, and a garage owner who offered us space to work on the vehicles for free. If just one of those things hadn't happened at the time and way that it did, Rev Technologies would never have existed. Now, before I'd launched, I made a promise to myself that come hell or high water, we would put an electric car on the road in 2008. And we did. Was it scalable? No. Affordable? Not really. Market ready? Not even close. But I drove it to and from work every day. And that wasn't the point. The point was proving to myself that you can start something from nothing when you have conviction and you take action every day. I promise you. Conviction is contagious. It's what gets people to join you before there's any money, any proof, or even any traction. So jump off that cliff and build that airplane on the way down, because that's what gets shit done. So if you're staring down impossible odds, I've been there. Subscribe and I'll show you how to turn conviction into momentum.